this meeting. All right. So let's talk about composition first. So everyone, what's composition in art? What is it? Everyone, what's composition? This is a significant part in art. What is it?
How things are in relation to one another.
Oh, that's really good answer. Very good. Christopher, who else? What's the composition?
It's how everything are putting together. Like, let's say design, the colors, everything.
Perfect. So the composition is the overall design or organization of a work. Very good, everyone. So in other words, composition is the organization of all the visual elements within a work of art. And artists design their compositions using guidelines known as the principles of design. So we're going to see the principles of design today. So there are 5 principles of design: unity and variety, balance, scale and proportion, emphasis and subordination, and pattern and rhythm. Today we are going to see the first 3 principles: unity and variety, balance, and scale and proportion. So let's see the unity and variety first. So unity is the sense of oneness, things belonging together and making up a coherent whole. And there are 3 types of unity. The first one is compositional unity. And the second one is conceptual unity. And the last one is gestalt unity. So let's see one by one. So let's see the compositional unity first. So an artist creates compositional unity by organizing all the visual aspects of a work. So there are 3 similar diagrams in illustrate the idea of compositional unity. So although A is unified, it lacks the visual interest of B, right? And while C is a unified work, its visual variety feels incoherent and chaotic. So let's see the compositional unity with the actual work of art. So artists use the elements of art to create compositional unity. So this painting, this painting's chaotic scene of a shipwrecked man on a raft in the turbulent sea is unified by its strong composition. So the implied diagonal lines, created by the man's dying body, the raft's mast, and arms reaching out for rescue form an X shape that provides a strong framework for the figures and heightens dramatic intensity. Now let's see the conceptual unity. So for example, there are diverse images in this box, and I set a conceptual idea as full bloom. So I picked 3 images like flower full bloom, cauliflower full bloom, and sea anemones full bloom. So it seems like there is no connection between these 3 images. However, these are conceptually united. as the full bloom. So the conceptual links that artists make between symbols and ideas drive from the collective experiences of their culture. So these two influences both the means that artists use to create the unity and the viewer's interpretation of the work. And here is the actual example with the conceptual unity. So this is Joseph Cornell's mixed media work. So everyone, let's look at this work of art closer. Which ones are conceptually united? Can you guess what these are? There is a square box, and then there is a bird in the box, right? And here is a hint. There is a ball on the top. Can you guess what's the conceptual unity in this work of art?
Could it be some kind of toy?
Tide?
I don't know if that's.
Did you say tide?
No, toy.
A toy. Oh yeah, it can be. But it's not that kind of, playful things. But it was really good guess. Any other ideas? So let's look at this ball. Where is it? In two rails, right? Is this ball able to get out of this box or get out of this rail?
No,
No. How about the bird?
the bird is stuck there too.
Yes, that's right. So his work seems to suggest mysterious ideas and elusive feelings, and the diverse shapes, colors, and other characteristics of everyday things come together to form distinctive images. Cornell has collected objects from life and sealed them in a box, and the bird is caged and unable to get out. And this yellow ball sits trapped on two rails that limit its freedom of movement to roll back and forth. And neither the bird nor the ball is free. So the bird and the yellow ball are conceptually united. Very good, everyone. Let's see the Gestalt unity. Gestalt, a German word for form or shape, refers to a work of art in which the whole seems greater than the sum of its parts. So this Vishnu dreaming the universe, which is a relief panel from Temple of Vishnu in India, and we can discover the many faces, lots of faces of Gestalt by examining the ancient Hindu relief Vishnu dreaming the universe. In this stone carving, the abundance of human figures surrounds a much larger reclining figure. And this is the God Vishnu dreaming. And the repetition of the human shapes that attend Vishnu creates compositional unity. And these similar shapes link to each other visually. So basically, the Gestalt unity means the repetition of the similar shapes in a work of art. So now let's see the variety. So variety is opposite meaning of unity. Variety is differences that provide interest and contrast in art. In art, variety is a collection of ideas, elements, or materials that are fused together into one design. And variety can invigorate a design. This example shows a composition of shapes set into a rectangle on a grid, like this. And even though the grid structure is predictable, the variety of shapes and values counteracts the rigid structure. And many artists use this kind of variety of express an energy that would be lost if there were too much unity. So variety is the artist's way of giving a work of art a jolt. So unity is the sense of oneness, and variety is the differences in art. So looks like a totally opposite concepts, right? However, all artworks include unity and variety together. So let's see the actual examples. So look at this painting by Jackson Pollock. Jackson Pollock was an American painter and a major figure in an abstract expressionist movement. He was widely noticed for his technique of pouring or splashing liquid household paint onto a horizontal surface. And that technique is called action painting. So everyone, can you find the unity and variety in this painting? Which feature is the unity and the variety of this painting?
And in terms of unity, I see like everything has like the same somewhat design.
Ah, very good. You mean the same technique, right?
Yes, sorry.
Yes, Jess, very good. How about the variety?
Would it be the colors?
Very good, very good. Yes. So when we see the whole painting, we can see the oneness by using same technique on the canvas. So we can see Pollock repeated splashing paint with lots of layers, but when we see it closer, we can see the splashed paint's colors are different and the sizes, the shapes are in random. So that factors make the variety in this work of art. So the Pollock's painting has unity and variety at the same time. Very good. And let's see a different example. So everyone, let's look at this work of art. What's the unity and variety in this work of art?
The unity would be that they're all frames hung up with string.
Very good. And the variety?
What's portrayed in each frame?
Ah, yeah, very good. So when we see the composition, it looks like very natural, and we cannot find, unity in this composition. And also, the text art has different, but we can see the variety with the, the different colors of the, the texture in the frames, and the photographs show different body parts. So that factors can be variety in this work of art. But as you can see, the unity and the variety are always together in a work of art. So that gives us interest and pleasure in the oneness. So let's move on to the next principle, balance. So balance refers to an apparent heaviness or lightness of form arranged in composition. So there are two types of balance in art, symmetrical balance and asymmetrical balance. So the symmetrical balance is the mirror image of shapes or forms on either side of an imaginary axial dividing line. So the elements correspond to one another in size, shape, and placement. So look at this pattern image. So there is an imaginary vertical axial on the center of the image, and the left side of the vertical axial correspond to the right side image. So this is called symmetrical balance. And here is another example. So there is an imaginary horizontal axial on the center of the image, and the top part of the axial correspond to the bottom part. So this is symmetrical balance. And here is the tricky one. Asymmetrical balance. So asymmetrical balance is two sides that do not correspond to one another in size, shape, and placement. So generally, there are 6 types of asymmetrical balance. So number 1, a larger form is visually heavier than a smaller form. And number 2, a dark value form is visually heavier than a light value form of the same size. And number 3, a textured form is visually heavier than a smooth form of the same size. And number 4, a complex form is visually heavier than a simple form of the same size. And number 5, 2 or more small forms can balance a larger one. And number 6, a smaller dark form can balance a larger light one. So let's see the actual examples with this, basic features. So this is a Pablo Picasso's painting, Girl Before a Mirror in 1932. And which types of asymmetrical balance did he use, everyone? So here is the options again. There are 6 types of asymmetrical balance. And can you guess which asymmetrical type the artist use in this work of art?
The complex.
Complex. It was a really good guess. But look at just look at the color.
The texture, light or dark.
Yeah, it looks like it has lots of textures, but the whole painting has the texture and patterns, right? So here is options again.
Dark form and light form.
Perfect. Yes. So the left woman and the woman in the mirror sizes look similar, but the left one is light and the right one is dark. Yes. So that is the second factor of asymmetrical balance. Very good. Let's see the next example. So this is a painting by Gustav Klimt, which everyone, which asymmetrical balance did he use?
I think the small dark and the big light color.
Perfect. Yes. So there is a chunk of light people on the right side, right? And there is a dark ghost on the left side. So which is occupying a small portion of the full image. So this is the The last one, 6th asymmetrical balance type. And the last one, this one is the tricky one. Can you guess which asymmetrical balance applied in this oriental painting? You should be open-minded when you look at this work of art.
Complex form and simple form.
It was a really good guess, but let's look at the size. There is no similar sizes here, right? Let's just be creative. So please use whole background.
Small dark form and light large form.
Oh my God, yes, you got it, Ashley. Yes. So on the left top corner, there are some objects in dark, and the rest part is empty with the bright paper color. So yes, this is the 6th asymmetrical balance type with the small dark form and large light form in an image. Very good. Now let's move on to the next principle, scale and proportion. So scale is the size of an object or artwork relative to another object or artwork or to a system of measurement. And proportion refers to size relationships between parts of a whole or between two or more items perceived as a unit. So scale and proportion both have to do with the size. The scale of a work of art communicates ideas. Small scale pieces force viewers to come in close to experience the artwork. And a small scale work implies intimacy. And a large scale works can be experienced by groups of viewers and usually communicate big ideas directed at a large audience. So let's look at this work of art. So this is a David statue in 1501 to 1504 by Michelangelo. So he was one of the Renaissance master and rival of Leonardo da Vinci. So this is a biblical episode, and Michelangelo depicted the David for his victory after a battle with Goliath. So Michelangelo's David looks like a hero and grandeur, and this statue is much larger than life size because Michelangelo used a monumental scale for indicating heroism. So like the David statue, scale can be used for showing a meaning in art. And now let's see the hierarchical scale. So this is palette of Narmer by ancient Egyptian. This is more popular name, more popular as the Narmer's pose, which is the typical of Egyptian art. So when depicting an important personage, the Egyptian artist strove to show each part of the body to best advantage so that it could be read clearly by the viewers. So Narmer's body is seen in profile, and his torso full front, and his head profile, but his eye, I know the eye is too small, you cannot see it, but the eye is front again. So the same pose recurs throughout most two-dimensional art in Egypt. So now let's focus on the size of the figures. So Narmer is obviously larger than other figures in this palette, right? Because Narmer is the important figure. That is hierarchical scale. So artists can use the size to indicate the relative importance of figures or objects in a composition. So almost always, larger means more important and smaller means less important. So now, let's see the next example with the distorted scale. So this is Rene Magritte's painting, and he was a Belgian surrealist artist. He became well known for creating a number of witty and thought-provoking images, and often depicting ordinary objects in an unusual context. His work is known for challenging observers' preconditioned perceptions of reality. So now, let's look at his painting closer related to the scale. So there is a room, and we can see furniture like a bed, closet, and a carpet on the floor. But the uniqueness of this painting is that the little daily objects are depicted on larger scale, like a brush, cup, comb, a soap. So in 20th century, many surrealist artists like Rene Magritte distorted the scale. They used the distorted scale to create a supernatural effect. Let's see proportion for the last. The relationships between the sizes of different parts of a work make up its proportions. By controlling these size relationships, an artist can enhance the expressive and descriptive characteristics of the work. So let's see the example. As the size relationships change, proportions change. So look at this example. So A shows the profile of a Greek vase. And if we change the width, like B, or if we change the height, like C, the overall proportions change. So each of these vase profiles communicates a different feeling simply because the ratio of height to width is different. So when the width is reduced, the vase seems elegant and light. And reducing the height produces the opposite effects. The vase seems clumsier and weightier than the original profile. And also, we can make a perfect square and a circle shape with our body proportion. It is called the human proportion. So this is discovered by the Renaissance master, Leonardo da Vinci. So when we straightly open our arms like this, then the length from the left fingertips to the right fingertips is same as our height. That proportion can make a perfect square, just like this. Also, when we open our legs and arms with a certain angles, like this image, then we can make a perfect square. And now let's see the golden section. The Greek interest in the use of mathematical formulas to determine perfect proportions has fascinated artists ever since. So one of the best known formulas is what has become known since the Renaissance as the golden section. The golden section is a square ratio of a line divided into two segments so that the sum of both segments is to the longer segment as the longer segment is to the shorter segment. So the result is 1 to 1.618. So this is Parthenon in Athens, Greece, constructed between 447 BCE and 438 BCE. So dedicated to the goddess Athena Parthenos, or Athena the warrior maiden. So this is the most typical architecture to use the golden section. So we are going to see the rest of the principles of design in the next meeting. And today we have a discussion by tonight. So everyone, please go to week 4 after this meeting and go find week 4-1 discussion. So when you click this, you can see today's topic. So please choose one of the discussion list below and explain. So let's see the options. Number 1, list 5 objects that represent formal or symmetrical balance and explain. So for example, like this brush. Now, this brush has symmetrical balance, right? There is a imaginary vertical axial on the center of this brush. So this is going to be really great example of the symmetrical balance. So you can just go find any daily stuff or design work related to the symmetrical balance if you choose the first option for the discussion topic. And the next one, list 5 objects that are an asymmetrical and radial balance and explain why. So for example, let me see my stuff. Yeah, maybe this one. This is Scotch tape. No, it has just asymmetrical balance time. It's not the mirror image. It's not corresponding to each other like that. And also you can list up like unity and variety, and also you can list up like the scale and proportion. So just to find the each objects to list up. So that's today's discussion. And then by tomorrow, please reply to your peers' postings at least 2 or more to get full participation points. And like I said, we have an assignment. So you're going to do the artist research by this Monday. So the due date is February 7th, Monday, midnight. If you miss the due date, you will lose 5 points of your total score, even though your paper is perfect. So do not miss the due date. And you're going to upload your assignment file in this turn-in page. If you have any trouble, you can just send me an email so I can help you. So you're going to choose one artist in artist research list. So what is it? So underneath this turn-in page, you will see this artist research list. Choose one artist in the list for art assignment 1. So when you click this, you will see 30 artists from your textbook. Vincent van Gogh, Leonardo da Vinci, Marcel Duchamp, Diego, and Francisco de Goya, Pablo Picasso, Louis Bourgeois, Ellen de Kooning, Edgar Degas, Jan van Eyck, Kara Worker, Banksy, Eugene Delacroix, Frida Kahlo, Johannes Vermeer, Lovert Smithen, Gorilla Girls, Peter Paul Rubens, Raphael, Michelangelo, Gustav Klimt, Edward Manet, J. Howard Miller, Andy Warhol, Frank Gehry, Claude Monet, Paul Gauguin, Jeff Koons, Piet Mondrian, and Jackson Pollock. So there are 30 artists and you're gonna choose one of them and then you're gonna research the artist. So let's see what you have to research. So you're gonna present in your paper the artist biography, artworks, and your appreciation about the artist work and the artist life. So here is the assignment one's guide. You're gonna make a cover page. On your cover page, I need you to write the artist's name, then class name. Please write your class name like this. Now, this is the full class name because I have the same courses. So please mark 03V. And then please write your name. So for the first page, you're gonna write the artist's brief biography and artwork style. It should be minimum 300 words. You know, you're gonna research through the internet, but you have to paraphrase, all the information. So that means you have to write it, by your own words. On the second page, you're gonna copy and paste the artist work examples. For this part, you can just copy and paste the artist work images. And for the last page, this is the most important part of this assignment. You're gonna write your appreciation about the artist's life and the artist artwork. So basically, you're gonna write your opinion and your thought for the artist, and it should be minimum 300 words. Then absolutely for this part, any copy and paste information, are not allowed it. So again, do not copy and paste any information from resources. Must be written by your own words, except for the second page. Any question?